Welcome to Elliott's PT podcast. I'm here to help you find your balance and live your best life guilt-free. I don't believe there is a one-size-fits-all approach for health and fitness. We're all different and we need to find out what works for us. I'm passionate about helping people make realistic, long-term lifestyle changes that they will stick to and they will take with them forever. I don't believe in crazy diets or short-term fixes. We all need to live and find a perfect balance in diet and exercise that suits our individual needs. I want to help you find your exercise mojo, feel great and achieve wonderful things. Here is Elliott's PT podcast by Renae Elliott.
Hello and welcome to our final day. Now we've already learned about how habits are formed, why our goals are important, how we can make sure that our habits are realistic, and how we can start stacking our habits to make sure that they really happen. Now the last thing I want to go through is how to make sure we keep our habits up. All right, so how can we make sure that we keep them going? Now we understand that the average time it takes to create a new habit is actually 66 days, but it can range from 18 to 254. So let's just be reminded of that. The other thing, so what other things can we start to do to keep our habit up? Number one, commit. Make sure we commit to at least 30 days. So we're committing to at least 1 month, to make sure that we are making it automatic, making our new habit automatic. And understanding that we have to go through an initial conditioning phase, just like when we talked about when we were driving, starting to drive or learning to reverse parallel. It does feel hard at the start, but the more that we do it, it will become more automatic. Okay, number 2 is make your habit daily. So make sure it's something that is daily. We have spoken about this before, but we want to make sure that it's daily. So consistency is crucial if we want to make the habit stick. So if you want to start exercising, then start going to the gym every day for your first 30 days, or do exercise something at home for the first 30 days. If you're only going once or a couple of times a week, it will make it harder to form the habit. So activities that you do every few days are trickier to lock in as habits than something that you do every day. We've spoken about this before, but number 3 is starting simple. So don't try to completely overhaul everything in your life because it will become so overwhelming. It'll be too hard and we won't do it all, and we'll be just too much. It's easy to really be over motivated and take on too much at the start, but we want to start simple, and we want to make sure that it's realistic and it sticks within our lifestyle. Our number 4th tip is to remind yourself. So when we're 2 or so weeks in to your habit, your commitment can be easy to forget. So it's good to place reminders of your habit that every day. So there could be, you could have post-it notes, you could have something on your phone, it could be reflecting each week. So remind yourself of what your commitment is and why you're wanting to do this. As I've spoken about before, I remind myself of my why all the time. Number 5 tip is stay consistent. So the more consistent your habits, the easier it's going to be to stick to. So we want to do something at the same time every day for the first 30 days. And the cues, like the time of day, the place, and they're all the same, and that makes it easier for you to stick to. And again, it'll become automatic. Now, I understand life pops in the way. I like running, and sometimes I might sleep in, or I might not be able to fit it in the morning, but I still do something. Because they say miss 1 session, but miss 2 sessions, and you're creating a habit you're starting to create a new habit of not going. So you sleep in, you miss your workout, you'll be like, okay, I'll get a video from Renae and I'm going to do it in the afternoon. Or I'm going to make sure I do this. So don't start creating, so stay consistent. And yes, life pops in the way, and I get it, and that will happen, but you are going to make sure that you are putting something in place so that you keep it up. And yeah, just think, miss it once is fine, miss it twice, you're starting to create a new habit. And so I run in the mornings, and let's say I'll still run for 5 minutes. If I only have a shorter, I'll still run for 5 or 10 minutes. So I've at least done something, and I've still kept my habit up. My number 6 tip is get a buddy, get someone to help you, get someone who can keep you motivated when you do feel like stopping. Use the support group on our Facebook page. Use them, get someone to help keep you motivated or remind you why you are doing this. Number 7 tip is form a trigger. So a trigger is a ritual that you'll use right before executing your habit. So if you wanted to wake up earlier, it could be waking up in the same way each morning. If you want to quit smoking, you could practice snapping your fingers each time you feel the urge to pick up a cigarette. I know some people have bands and they wear them around their wrists and they flick them. Number 8 tip is to keeping your habits up is replacing lost needs. So if you feel like you're giving up something in your habit, make sure that you're adequately replacing it with any needs that you've lost. So if watching television gave you a way to relax, then you could take up meditating or reading as a way to replace the same need. My 9th tip is be imperfect. Life is not perfect. We are not perfect. There is lots of things that are going to get in the way, and that is life. That will happen, and expect it to happen. And don't expect everything to happen immediately or your success to be immediately. It could take you 4 or 5 tries before really learning to exercise independently, but it's good to take 4 or 5 tries. Like I tried, like when I talked about my trying to do yoga every morning, like I stuffed up a few times, and but then once I got it, and then it becomes a ritual, and I don't ever want to miss it out. So try your very best, but do expect that will be a lot of bumps in the way. So another tip is to use the word but. So a habit changing therapist suggests that it's a great technique for changing bad thought patterns. So when we are starting to think any negative thoughts, use the word but to interrupt it. So I'm not good at this, but if I work on it, I might get better later. So use the word but. My 11th tip is remove temptation. So if you are looking to change your eating, it would be a great idea to take the junk food out from your house. If you are looking at, take away any temptation or any reason that you would have to dip into what you're in the habit that you're creating.
So my 12th tip would be about writing it down. So I think there's a really important relationship with writing something down and making sure that you've got stuff on paper, but also if you're feeling like you're struggling with something, it's really good. I love journaling, and journaling has been something that's been a really great tool to learn and to use, but writing it down, if you're feeling like you're stressed about something, or when you see it on a piece of paper, it can make your ideas more clear and help you focus on your real end result. And sometimes we realize that what we were worried about isn't as bad as what it is when we write it down and get it out of our head. My 13th tip is to know the benefits. So it's really important to understand why you're doing this, or understanding the benefits of it. So if it's a health benefit, you can be reinforcing to yourself all the time, I'm doing this because I would like to be more fit, I would like to have a healthier heart, all those types of things. When we understand the benefits, it can help you know why you're doing it. For me, my big why, as I've said to you before, is about being able to age as well as I can. And I see people that are older and that may be struggling. So at the moment, my gran is in her 80s and she's struggling with things, and I think that's the reason why I'm doing what I'm doing. So knowing the benefits of that is what can help keeping you on track. So when when you know the benefits, say if you were wanting to study, and you study, your habit was studying. And, when you start studying more, you can see the benefits in improving your study habits, because that will benefit in your grades, those types of things. The next tip is understanding the pain. So understanding, being aware of the consequences. So you want to be able to see things from all perspectives. So when you can, exposing yourself to realistic information about the downsides of not making the change can help, can help give you more motivation. So we want to see all sides of it and what will happen if you stay the same. So that's a really big one. And my last tip is do it for yourself. Don't think of things that you should be doing or you have to do it. Do it for you and no one else. Don't do it to impress someone else. Don't do it because you think somebody else will love you more if you do this. Do it for yourself and no one else. Create your habits, on things that work for you, things that make you happy. We don't want to have any guilt or guilt about things or doing things for other people. We just don't want that. It's got to be for you, and when it's for you, you'll stick to it. You are more likely to stick to it when it is for you. Your life today is essentially the sum of all your habits. How in shape or out of shape you are is a result of your habits. How happy or unhappy you are is a result of your habits. How successful or unsuccessful you are is a result of your habits. And what you repeatedly do ultimately forms the person you are, the things you believe and the personality that you portray. And understanding all this, you know that you can become anything you want to be. You can, you might be a certain way, but you can learn to create new habits to become the person that you would like to be. It doesn't mean that you're this one way and you can't change from that. We can just look at creating our new habits to become this newer version of yourself that is living the most fulfilled and happiest life possible. So now that we have gone through we are looking at what really works for us, what works for our personality, and what is the thing that is that really drives us. We are looking at creating one habit at a time and making sure that it sticks. And that we don't overload ourselves by trying to overhaul and change 10 things at a time. So thank you so much for being part of this workshop. I'm really excited to hear how you've all gone, and make sure if you have any questions, make sure you come and ask me.
Thanks for listening to the Elliott's PT podcast. I hope you have been able to find this information of use to you. If you know someone who might enjoy this podcast, please share it with them and ensure that you subscribe so you can be the first to know when new podcasts are released. If you have the time to leave a 5-star review, that would be amazing and it would be greatly appreciated. If you do so, please screenshot and share onto any of our socials and tag us. Then email the screenshot to hello@elliotspt.com and we will send you a free gift to your inbox. Thanks so much. Have an amazing day. Speak soon.